Will anybody hold him accountable for what he did back in the day and his utter failure to bring us together as a nation, despite his repeated promises to do so? And again, what about that 1994 crime bill? A White House reporter did ask Press Secretary Jen Psaki about that yesterday, and the fact that a Harvard professor and civil rights activist named Cornel West, you may have heard of him, said that Biden is, quote, one of the core architects of mass incarceration.
The killing of 16-year-old Ma'Khia Bryant by the Columbus police is tragic. She was a child. We're thinking of her friends and family and the communities that are hurting and grieving her loss. We know that police violence disproportionately impacts Black and Latino people in communities, and that Black women and girls, like Black men and boys, experience higher rates of police violence.
Well, Jen Psaki was asked, again, specifically, if there was a situation where Joe Biden felt some sort of accountability for his role in that 1994 crime bill. Everybody seems to be talking about accountability these days, but no one seems to want to accept accountability, including Joe Biden. And let's welcome in now host of the Rubin Report, Dave Rubin, to talk more about this. He is the author of Don't Burn This Book, Thinking for Yourself in an Age of Unreason. Dave, great to see you.
Good to be with you, Johnny. Real quick, before I even let you get to the first question, you said something about truth right up at the top, that we can't agree on truth. I just want to completely go on the record that everything that you just said there was truthful, and I would be happy to go into any of the statistics to back that up as we talk right now.
Yeah, I really wanted to play that exchange between Jen Psaki and the reporter yesterday, because we have the clip, too, of Joe Biden from 1994 talking about irredeemable kids as predators and things like that and on the floor of the U.S. Senate. And, yes, we may have caused these problems as a society, but that doesn't mean we can't lock them up and throw away the key forever. Joe Biden is one of the people most responsible for this institutional racism we hear so much about. And again, he, nor LeBron James, nor anyone else wants to take accountability, or they want to hear it.
Well, let's be very clear. Joe Biden has been in the government for 47 years. Did he forget for the first 47 to do anything about any of this stuff? Why didn't he solve racism for 47 years? He was also, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, I know you guys have fact checkers, I think he was vice president under a Black president.
Yeah,
Why did he and that guy not do anything about any of this? And by the way, Barack Obama issued a statement in the last couple days on Twitter that further fanned the flames on all of this stuff. The sick truth related to this knife incident is that if she had killed the other girl, nobody would be talking about this. Mm-hmm. Nobody would be talking about an absolutely innocent girl being maimed to death by a knife-wielding maniac. Now, all of us would prefer that there were less lethal incidences related to person-on-person crime, citizen-on-citizen or policing. But there are no perfect systems. And if your answer is that cop should have done something else somehow, or maybe used a taser, which could or couldn't have worked, or is harder to aim, or whatever it might be, well, then that girl is most likely dead, and no one would have cared, and LeBron wouldn't have said anything. And by the way, quickly on the LeBron front, although what he has said has been completely ridiculous, at some level I do sort of pity with him, because he has been thrown into this thing. And yes, it's his choice to defend China at all costs and always attack the United States. But it's just so profoundly obvious that he doesn't know what he's talking about. And I even retweeted his tweet that you showed there yesterday, and I used actual statistics from the Washington Post. They're supposedly a trustworthy organization. And in 2019, 9 unarmed Black people were shot and killed by cops, and 19 unarmed white people. So when he's talking about this endless assault on Black people, it just isn't true. But this goes to your first point, which is that the truth in many ways doesn't matter to these people. And that's what we have to figure out how to deal with. Yeah,
and it's amazing to me, and maybe I'm just stupid and naive, Dave, but I wanted to believe that we could come back together, that maybe that Joe Biden would, hold off against some of these, pushes from the far left progressives, but he seems to be completely steamrolled by that wing of the Democratic Party.
I don't know if it's steamrolled or he just stands for nothing anymore, or he's cognitively not able to stand up for whatever it is that we sort of thought he believed as somewhat of a centrist. I think that's all up for debate, and maybe years from now we'll be able to find out something closer to the truth on that. But for any of my liberal friends, the sort of sane liberals that once existed, for any of them that thought he was going to be the guy to stop the craziness, it's like, guys, it's time for your mea culpa. Every single bad idea that the left has is being ushered into the United States government right now. They're bringing critical race theory back in schools. I mean, if you are a parent at this point and you send your children to a public school voluntarily, you have to really think about that. Now, I get not everybody has the means to do that. And by the way, that's why there's a massive movement growing on the right that we should fund students, not schools, right? Which I'm completely for. That way you have school choice, which, by the way, is one of the things that the progressives don't want. You know, Elizabeth Warren hates charter schools. You're not going to believe it, John. Where does she send her own children to? Yeah, they went to private schools.
Of course. They all send their kids to private schools. And this is why we advocate for school choice and giving parents more, you know, ability to make decisions where they want to send their school. If you give them either tax breaks or vouchers or give them the money that you give schools, they will be more empowered. We do have those statistics, which you can put up on the screen again. We've been showing those. Dave, you referenced those. Here, these are the facts from the Washington Post, of all places, on what the, you know, police-involved shootings are of unarmed people here over the last 3 years. Again, these are all facts. This is so confounding because you see this data on the screen, but yet so many in the media, so many Democrats continue to perpetuate the lie that this disproportionately affects black people.
I mean, in essence, there is a movement to destroy America right now. I know that sounds sort of alarmist at one level, but I think we can only fix this thing if we call it what it is. And don't take my word for it. What was AOC saying right after the verdict that she wanted in the George Floyd case just a few days ago? Immediately, this is just the beginning, right? What was Nancy Pelosi? I mean, in a truly psychotic moment that the media let her skate over. Thank you, George Floyd. Thank you. I mean, she literally thanked him for dying. I'm fairly certain he would prefer to be alive right now. But they are using, they are using everything that they can grab as a cudgel to destroy the foundations of America. And what I'm trying to figure out, and I know you're trying as well, John, is who will stand up for America at this point? Yeah, there are a couple people. They're doing it pretty well in your state and your great governor, Ron DeSantis. But who really, from the intellectual elite, who from the educational class?
I wanted to play that clip of Cornel West, too, because, you know, he pointed out yesterday, as I think some people smartly did, I mean, this verdict is no reason to celebrate. There's no need to break dance from one guilty verdict here. There is a lack of, I think, education and understanding of what the core issues are, and it's being distorted every day. But, Dave, you do your part. We try to do ours here. Always great to see you on Thursday. We'll talk soon. Thanks so much.
Good to see you, John.
If you're looking for more honest and thoughtful conversations about politics instead of nonstop yelling, check out our politics playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a variety of topics, watch our full episode playlist all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.